Hello, can anybody hear me? Hello? Well, I don't see nothing happening. Hello, can anybody hear? Am I live and in living color and all my beardy glory? Looks like I'm live. I just looked over at my TV. So, hey, Nate. Thanks, TJ. Let's see who we have in the chat. Hi, Mary Miles. I didn't see you pop in there. We got Nate Dampier, Carolyn Henderson, Straight Tennessee Preparedness. Let's see. J Squatch. I'll say your name twice. I know. Sorry about that. So, did everybody have a good week this week? Hey, back Arthur Homestead. Nice to see you here, buddy. Idaho back prep. Good deal. Well, few people are in. This is a odd time to have a live stream. It's right in the middle of the day, and people are out doing stuff, doing yard work if you can, planting your garden if it's time to plant where you live. Or let me turn. My kids got me this for Christmas, so mainly to aggravate my sisters, so they thought it was funny. And it really is because my sisters have a bad case of TDS, which is Trump derangement syndrome. So I've got some notes again today, and I'm sorry for yawning. I worked last night. Still a little sleepy. It takes me a lot more than one thing of coffee to get me awake. So let's go over some topics I wrote down. Hopefully I'll be coherent enough to get through it. And then we'll talk about what y'all want to talk about. A lot of stuff going on this week. Some of it, most of it, not good. Mm. But it does affect, politics and the way the nation's going does affect how we prep. So, of course, everybody knows it. Uh, President Trump was indicted on a bunch of charges up in New York. The New York District Attorney, I guess, Bragg, who was a Soros boy, Soros appointee. And the feds looked at all that stuff, and they didn't think they had enough to bring a case. But this guy pretty much run on the fact that he was going after Trump. So I don't know. I think it's all just for show. I don't think much will come out of it. But then again, New York's very blue. So if he goes to trial up there, is he going to get a fair trial? Hey, Dawn Stackpole, nice to see you. Unicoi County, I've got some buddies from work that drive from Unicoi every day. Pretty country up there. And uh, hush payment. I don't. I mean, how many women did Slick Willie pay off during his tenure? So I think they're just doing anything they can to keep him from running. I think it'll backfire. I don't think it's going to go the way they think it would. Yeah, Little Rock got hammered yesterday, Nate. A lot of bad storms. Hey, Kathleen. So, what do y'all think about this? Is it something to pay attention to, or is it just a way to distract us from stuff that they're trying to sneak in on us through the back door where nobody's paying attention to it? Afternoon, Robert Bates. Nice to see you. I'm not sure yet, but it's something that I'll probably pay attention to because if they start doing stuff like that, we all know that the Department of Justice has been weaponized against conservatives. A guy made a meeting during the 2016, let me say it in English, 2016 election. I'm telling people to vote by text. Somebody also, well, if you're a Trump supporter, to go ahead and vote by text. The guy that told Hillary Clinton voters to go ahead and vote by text is facing 10 years in prison. Gestapo level stuff. First Amendment's being horrible. The Second Amendment's under attack. So I guess the people don't pay attention to the Constitution. That's just my feeling. Anna said he will not extradite Trump. If Trump don't want to go to New York, turn himself in and surrender, then he don't have to. state charges. So I think it's on this County show. The thing that really caught my attention that a lot of people weren't talking about at first, but Brazil and China signed an agreement, trade agreement, where they'll do international trade not using the dollar. And while that doesn't seem significant, Saudi Arabia is already selling China oil not using the U.S. dollar, if I'm not mistaken. And Brazil, while it doesn't compare to our gross product, they're the largest economy in South America. They're the 12th largest in the world. And once the U.S. dollar spirals and goes down to two, then it's not going to be good for us. We've used the U.S. dollar, only people, for years since World War II. So when that goes away, it's going to be bad times for the USA. What else do I have written down here? Of course, the saddest story this week, besides the all the tornadoes and damage and stuff, is the shooting down in Nashville, here in Tennessee, where the transgender person went in there and killed a bunch of kids at the Christian school. Said they found maps and stuff at three schools, and they picked that one because it didn't have security, and they figured that would be the easiest target. Audio's choppy, Carol Ann. Sorry, let me scoot up a little bit. Is that any better? I had the same problem with a video or a little short I put up yesterday. Is it better now? I don't have a microphone. I just use the laptop, so that'd be better. But the White House came out and they pretty much made the transgender shooter the victim, which is and immediately they go after everybody's Second Amendment rights, which is ridiculous. They showed the guns that were AK-47s, I guess. Hey, Winter Homestead, hope you're feeling better. But they found a manifesto that this individual had written about why they did the shooting. Still haven't seen that yet. We all know why. NPR did a thing a couple weeks ago saying that the trans community was under attack, that they needed to arm themselves up, buy guns, and lots of them. NPR, you know they're a big Second Amendment supporter. So is the transgender community under attack, or is Christian people under attack? You can make your mind up. I prefer the latter. And I saw something that I'm not going to mention here about pronouns, but I told some guys at work last night that was pretty funny. So, is there going to be a assault weapons ban, or as they like to say, assault weapons? I know that AR-15 stands for Armament. Hey, Keisha Wagner. Sorry about the audio. I'll try to do better. Let's see. B. Smeller. Did I say that right? 86. So, everywhere you look, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, all under attack. The Constitution doesn't mean anything to these people anymore. Our Republican write-ups in Congress and the Senate don't care. They're there to make themselves money. There are a few good ones, don't get me wrong, but the vast majority are there for their own purpose and self-interest. Sorry. Need more coffee when you work nights. And speaking of the First Amendment under attack, I don't know if y'all have heard this or not, or read much about it. I have a little bit, they want to ban TikTok. So Senator Warner, team senator from Virginia, has put forth legislation that's called supposed to be to ban TikTok, but it's really to suppress free speech. Um, in this bill, the government can access your Ring doorbell, which they probably already do anyway, security cameras at your home. There's over 1 million people on an app, say the game app, which I don't know much about. I'm sure my kids do. But you can face, if you put out misinformation, according to them, you can face up to 20 years in prison and or up to $1 million in fines. So I urge you, I have emailed my two senators here in Tennessee. I've emailed my House of Representatives person, voiced my supreme displeasure with this bill going forward, and I'd suggest that you do too. Uh, I don't know if it'll work, but I'll say they get sick of hearing from me because I call them quite often, email them quite often. I'll send another email tonight. So, excuse me, coffee's not good to my stomach this morning, or this afternoon. It's morning for me. So we need to pay attention. I think this is something they're trying to sneak in and make it look real pretty and nice, like the Patriot Act after 9/11. But the Patriot Act, even more freedom, more away from us. So we need to be careful what these laws are. And I'm glad there's people that are smarter than me that can go through and figure out what all this stuff means and then I can talk about it like I know something that I don't. And speaking of pronouns, Robert Bates, this is a little bit vain, but I'm a smart aleck and I have him the pronouns for the shooter in Nashville are now words and more. So I'd like to commend those police officers down in Nashville for doing their job so efficiently, unlike the people down in Texas who just sit there and didn't do anything until those kids were being massacred and the teachers. Well, my hat's off to the Nashville Police Department. So whatever you do, the key to being prepared, I think, is to be prepared mentally, to be prepared spiritually, and then there's all the stuff that we do, have food, have ways to purify water, have some first aid training, and first aid supplies. Water is the key. But if you have all, being said, you have all that, you better have a way to defend it because if something bad does happen, there's going to be a lot of bad characters come around that are going to try to take it from you. Not all of them are going to be bad characters. We're 72 hours away from anarchy. People miss meals for 3 days. Parents are going to be out trying to do anything they can to keep kids. While I would like to help a lot of people, I look at it, most people have had the same opportunity I have. I've sacrificed stuff, and my kids have had to sacrifice because I've sacrificed to put stuff back for them. So I'm not going to be handing out stuff to anybody that comes by. That ain't happening. That ain't how it works. And I know that doesn't seem very Christian, but charity begins at home. So let's talk about anything. Y'all have any questions or anything y'all want to talk about? Probably not going to go probably over 45 minutes. I'm going to go try to make something before I go in. Keisha Wagner, nice to see you. That's it. Keep prepping. Things are going to get much worse. Yeah, things are. I put that up there. Oh, sad to me to say it too, Keisha, but things aren't looking better. But we have to, in this community, if you're prepping, even if you have 2 weeks worth of food and water and stuff like that, put back, you're ahead of 95, 97%. So let's do what you do. Keep adding up a little at a time. Oops. Hey, coffee first this week. Better late than never. Sorry I'm not as entertaining as Hudson Valley and Livingston, man, but those guys are characters. Yeah, y'all are right. The cops down in Nashville did an excellent job. They didn't mess around. But where there was no school resources to do their equal deeds. So it's it's just sad that they think that taking everybody's guns away is going to end this. Not with all the stuff coming across the southern border. We have the northern border now. The Chinese nationals coming in. We got gangbangers coming in down south. Terrorists, people on the terror watch list. And now they want to disarm me. No, I'm afraid I'm not going to participate in that. And you can if you want to, but no, I'm not. Not not willing. Oh, so any questions? Oh, I'll give Rosie a hug, Suburban Hillbilly. She's over here on guard duty. I would try to get a picture of her, but I'll probably lose the live stream. Just looking out her window, making sure nobody sneaks up on me while I do this live stream. But I don't know. I've been trying to find like-minded people in this area to sort of form a mag with. I have a loose affiliation with people that will work together, but we're all spread out. So I really need to get serious about that. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Well, be careful driving. Driving. What are you practicing, Winter Homestead? I'm sorry I missed it. I don't. It's hard for me to scroll through the chat or chat and try to run my mouth too. I'm not very. I need to scoot up coffee first. I keep backing away. So, how many people? We have 24 people in here, which is not bad. And at work, you know, we, where I work, we're all pretty conservative. That sounds good, Winter. So we talk about a lot of these things. Some of us pay more attention than others, but I've got some good connections at work. I've got a buddy that lives, it's about 30, 40 minutes away. He bought another farm. He's where I bought my beef. He raises cattle. So that's where I buy the beef I buy every year for the last 2 years. So that's a good connection to have. About 30 minutes away over here, there's a large farm that sells a boatload of vegetables every year. So my garden, my little garden I have produced this year, I'm going over there and buy. You can buy beans, tomatoes, potatoes. Corn. So if my garden doesn't do good, I'm going to stock up over there. It's pretty cheap. So you need to know local farmers, local cattle ranchers. There's got a buddy I used to work with at the mill that his father raises hogs. I bought some sausage off of him before, and it is excellent. He's at where I'm working now, so I need to reach out to him and see if his dad is still doing that. So around your area, especially if there's a lot of rural areas around here, I live right in the middle of town. This is a small city I live in, maybe 50,000 people. So there's a lot of farmland, a lot of people raise cows, cattle around here. They have chickens. I used to have chickens, but my former boss at work got my chickens, so I have a chicken source, egg source. So look around your area. You can find people that own farms that still do things like that can supply you with eggs, uh, pigs, vegetables. But by all means, good deal, B. Miller. Getting 20 chickens soon. I hope they produce food for you. Be careful where you get your chicken feed. I heard a lot of people having problems with Tractor Supply feed. Beginner gardening classes. That's great. I used to know a lot more about gardening than I do now. Coffee first, but I'm learning again. When I was a young fellow, we always had gardens. Tennessee Mountain Preparedness is saving it for land. That's excellent. Question. Let's see. What do you think what we're going to do when the digital dollar national parks are going completely cashless? That's a good question, Don. I don't think a lot of people, especially young kids, will think that's great. Just go up and scan your card, which a lot of people do now. Use debit cards. I try to do a lot of purchases in cash. But these people are so technology addicted that they'll probably volunteer to put a chip in their wrist, in their forehead. It wouldn't matter to them. I think there will be maybe an economy, a barter economy that'll come up out of this. So if you can, where the banking situation and the economy's looking, we're back by nothing. People are leaving the dollar. Maybe buy some silver. Look in your coins. If you save coins, I have some of those older quarters and stuff that contain real silver. So I guess I won't be going to the Smoky Mountains anytime soon. I'll probably go to Gatlinburg, but 50 pounds of potatoes you're replanting this year. Excellent winter homestead. For some reason, potatoes it used to be the easiest thing to grow, but I've tried to grow them in containers for the last 2 or 3 years, and I haven't had much luck. So I don't know if it's my soil. Maybe I need instead of just using regular 10-10-10 fertilizer, maybe I should buy more fertilizer that has a higher potassium in it. Yeah, I think that would work. Gardening it quite as easy as what little Mike Bloomberg said when he was running for president, which was kind of funny. But anybody can do it. Just sow some seeds in the ground, cover it up, and come back 6 months later, you'll have all kinds of stuff to eat. Doesn't quite work out that way, but I didn't have much of anything last year back orchards. I wasn't paying attention enough. The garden was 45 miles away from where I was at, so kind of hard to garden remotely like people were working during the pandemic. We have been a cashless society, Keisha, for a long time. Debit cards, I still use my debit card. Uh, I've bought a lot of Freedom Seeds online using debit card or credit card. So, but I have made a point this year to keep more cash on hand here just in case something happened. Because say something happened and we got hit with an EMP or a big solar flare knocked out the grid for a while, then people that don't have any cash on hand ain't gonna be able to go to the store and buy anything. But if you have cash, you can still get some basic supplies. If something happens, would you really want to go to the store? It's going to be a mud house. Mary didn't get much from grow bags, and I've never tried grow bags, Mary. So, uh, have you thought about food grade buckets like for tomatoes and things like that? That might work. I've had good luck with food grade buckets. Just drill some holes in the bottom, put them up elevated a little bit, maybe on an old pallet or a cinder block where the water can drain. So I do know you have to water containers like garden beds, straw bales, buckets, anything like that a little more than you just can't depend on rainwater. I agree. So a lot of things to be aware of if you're in the prepping community. A lot of things we talk about, political stuff. You say, why do you talk about political stuff? What goes in Washington affects us, whether we want to admit it or not. If they pass laws saying you can't have chickens, then what are you going to do? If they pass laws saying you can't have a backyard garden, then what are you supposed to do? So I pay attention probably too much, but I don't obsess over it. I still like to get out and do stuff with the kids, like to watch a little basketball and college football. So still watch some movies, TV shows. We're on the potato head subject now. His brains are mashed potatoes. That's an insult to mashed potatoes. Tennessee Mountain Preparedness. Make potatoes great again. Oh Lord, just think we still have a year and a half left of this mess that's in Washington, and it may go on before that, after that. So I use buckets too, Keisha, and I didn't have very good luck raising potatoes in buckets. Last year, I got a 55-gallon barrel and cut it in two, put them in that, thinking they would have more room to expand, and I didn't have much luck for that either. Is the audio still choppy, y'all? Am I gonna have to go to Walmart or Amazon and buy a microphone for this? I guess I'll be up next week on spring break to cook that for me. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? Hey, HGS video. Hope you get to Tennessee. We talked about it. You're down. I'm not going to say where you're at. I know where you're at. So hopefully you'll get down here full time. So that's exactly right. If we can't laugh at this world, we'd be in a sad shape, sadder shape than we're already in because all you have to do is read the news or look at the news on Fox or whoever you watch, and it's pretty depressing. That's why it's good to make jokes about Old Potato Head, although he is a joke. So let's see who all. What do y'all feel about U.S. dollar? Do you think it's on its last legs? We have everything has to be transacted in dollars. Now the BRIC system coming along, will try to compete with that, which is Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa. That looks like Saudi Arabia is lining up with them. Brazil's lining up with them. I think the lines are being drawn today, and sides are being chosen. So something wicked this week happens. Is there something going on today in D.C.? I hadn't watched the news today, Winter Homestead, but I had heard about the Trans Day of Vengeance brought to you by the mythological group called Antifa. So I don't know if they're doing anything today or not. I don't know if they'll get out and act stupid, but if they do get out and act stupid, I'm sure nothing will happen to them. Like the people that broke into the state capitol, national trans protesters, nothing will happen to them. Nothing will happen. I think it also happened down in Florida where they went to the Capitol. See, there's not equal justice under the law anymore. It depends on which team you you side with, who you vote for. You can burn down cities, hack policemen, billions of dollars worth of damage, and get you out of jail pretty much immediately. So, yeah, I believe you're right. Or back to Archer's homestead. And they did threaten a riot there, but it'll probably happen at night, and they'll probably all have masks, Carol Ann, and nothing will be done. So we live in interesting times, but also perilous times. And I've said this before. When I was a single man, didn't have any kids, I owned one gun, which was an old shotgun. Now I own quite a few. There's always one close by. I might get kicked off YouTube for showing that. I always went one within arm's reach. I keep one on my person when I go to the store when I have my kids. There's one in the vehicle when I'm out with my kids. So I'm not playing. I saw a guy, and I'm not thinking the guy was probably homeless and needs help. He probably needs to be in an institution. But a huge guy come by. I mean, he would pound me to death without even breaking sweat. This guy was a monster. He was walking up the street here the other night about 12 o'clock, and he was twitching, working, talking, and nobody around him. Wasn't talking on the telephone either. And it's people like that you have to watch out for. I don't want to make you mad. I mean, those people are mentally unbalanced. Like we got people around here, homeless people hooked on drugs, and they will do anything they can to get their next high. So you need to have a way to protect yourself at all times. I agree. I watch Keisha. I watch oh, Economic Ninja too. I don't understand what he says all the time, but I try to read up. I'm not a financial advisor, but he does have a really good channel. He's talking about the banking crisis and stuff. I don't think that's over with. How they're wanting to limit the cash you can withdraw from your account. So I've heard that some banks are limiting that. What I think that they're going to do, during the pandemic, all the mom and pop stores got shut down. but you'll notice the big box stores like Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, Lowe's, Home Depot, they kept right on rolling, made a fortune. But mom and pop went out of business. And I think this is just my thinking that they want to roll all those small banks under the regional banks and make several huge banks that that'll be all we have left. I mean, you'll have a Bank of America, Wells Fargo, I don't know, Chase. I think that'll be the only thing left. And they're going to do exactly what they're told. They're all planning this. And I do believe that, we see people like George Soros, and he's sort of the right wing boogeyman right now. You know, the DAs that are letting people go cashless bail, not prosecuting criminals, but all Soros back. Well, Soros, I think, is just the front man. I think there's people behind him that have a lot more power and influence than he does, and he does what he's told. So once he's got to be close to 90 years old, once he croaks, they'll have another front man. But I believe there are people. They talk about Elon Musk being the richest man in the world. Well, he's the richest man in the world according to Forbes. I believe there are people a lot richer than Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos that don't want to be on that list. That's just my opinion. So I think the people that meet in the dark secret rooms, like at the Bilderberg meeting, uh, the World Economic Forum, I think that's where our futures are being planned. And everything. Nice to see you here. Hadn't seen you in a while on my live stream. Yeah, as you get older, man, everything, your circle of friends that you trust grows smaller and smaller. You find out who your real friends are, and you have friends, have family, and then there are acquaintances. And the circle grows smaller every year for me. There's some buddies I know I can count on, but I don't have to talk to them every day. Back Archer cities. My bank account was hacked 2 times in the last 3 months. Yeah, I've had that happen to me. It's a surefire way to have a panic attack. It's happened to me twice. But the regional bank, small local bank I went to, I just, they called me and said we had these purchase stuff, and I got my money back pretty quickly, like within a couple of days. Heard that George Soros is dying. Not sure how true that is. Well, he's looked rough for years, Keisha, but his children are ready to step in. Yeah, I've seen some of his kids. They look like really nice people, too. Man, everything said your bank account was locked. Can't find out till Monday. Well, that stinks. Hopefully, you got some cash on hand if you need anything. Always keep a little bit of cash on hand if you can. You don't want to keep, I don't know, I wouldn't advise keeping a whole lot of money on hand unless you have somewhere to store it safely in case of a break in while you're not there or a fire, because it'll burn pretty quick. So, any more questions from you guys? Because a lot of you guys are a lot smarter than I am. I just like to get on here and it helps relieve my anxiety about the world we live in and feel like I'm talking to like-minded people, and that makes me feel good. If you look at the media with all the what was it they had at the White House yesterday, the Trans Day of Visibility, they want to make us think like we're the people that participate in this job. You know, we're not the minority. We are the majority, and we need to realize that. Rothschilds, Rockefellers, I'm familiar with those names, but who are the Annenbergs, Kathleen? That one's a new one to me. Hi, Midway Farms. Good to see you. I'm not sure I've heard of it. Probably a good thing. Yeah, the Rothschilds has been funding both sides of the war since Napoleon. That's how they got their money. What was the book that Smedley Butler wrote? The World War One general. I think it was a general. Maybe it's a major. War is a racket. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that story, but they tried to get him to lead an insurrection back then, and I think Prescott Bush was over that. Bush's uh, have been meddling in governmental affairs for years. If you're a Bush fan, and I'm not, I don't get into it deeply, but just read about Prescott Bush. You'll see, then read about his kids and grandkids, and you'll see that the apples don't fall too far from the tree. We have people, and that's it. That's why all these countries are lining up against the West right now, is because we've interfered, meddled, bullied since World War II. We've interfered at the top of governments for years and years. We have overthrown more governments, been in more wars, incursions. Just look at the list. We've been in a constant state of war pretty much since World War II. We had Korea, which was had about an 8 year break from World War II. Then Vietnam, and we've been in a constant state of war since 2001 in the Middle East. Now we're getting ready to get into war in Europe, and we're getting ready to get war in the Pacific, I believe. And Annenbergs are in that group. You'll hear about their foundation on PBS. Okay, I'll look them up, Kathleen. I had never heard that name before. Maybe I have, but it didn't stick with me because I've heard of the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the Morgans and the Vanderbilts and all those people. So, folks, that's about it today for today. I got to get ready to go to work here in a little bit. Got to make me something to eat. Maybe drink some more coffee. Little Rosie Pose, take her out for a walk. She's here with me. She's not on camera. Can you see her? There she is. So I got to take care of some stuff before I go into work. But I appreciate y'all coming out and participating in the live stream with me. Hope we had a good discussion. Let's see. I just saw a comment here. A kratom. Where did that go? Somebody said something about a kratom. I'm not sure what that is. Man, everything. I'm not sure what a kratom is, so I'll have to look that up too. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. I'll make some next week. The kids are on spring break, so we'll take them fishing. That should be entertaining for me because all I'll end up doing is baiting hooks and stuff. So fixing sandwiches. They'll fish, and I'll be their little butler. So y'all take care. Have a blessed weekend. Keep prepping. Keep praying. Pray for one another. And if you're a praying person, the pastor of the church that I went to before I changed, just moved into this town, their grandbaby at 4 months old, they found the little girl dead in her crib. So y'all remember them, and let's have a great weekend. Let's keep prepping, and I'm getting ready to go to work. So hopefully I'll have a good night. Kratom is a natural pain reliever. I'm gonna have to look that up. All right, y'all be careful, be blessed, and keep prepping. Adios, friends. Hmm.